Peace. Young Ash. Back again. Intro. I suffer from schizophrenia. I talk about that the odd time, sparingly these days, but I will speak about it more in depth soon, possibly this video. I'm a rapper from the west of Ireland. I'm thumb down saying that, yeah, that's my career summed up in one gesture. However, I enjoy doing it, and it's where I achieve flow state. And these vlogs this is my personal vlog, you know, I achieve flow state in the vlogs as well, for the most part. And, you know, it helps regulate my emotions and process things and gets me talking. So that beats staying silent. Intro over. An extension on the intro would be click the link in the comments, buy me a coffee. Big up. Intro over. Vape time. I haven't done one of these in nearly 2 weeks, and it's been a good 2 weeks. The World Cup's been on, so I've been on holidays basically without leaving the country or barely leaving the house. I know I've left the house a good bit, but I've been at home watching all the matches in the evening time, and I've been staying up till like 4 a.m. sometimes to watch the matches, and they've been unbelievable. And if you separate the politics from the sport, dare I say it's the best World Cup there's ever been so far. That's the way I'm looking at it. That's the way I feel about it. I'm like, fucking hell, it's no doubt it's been my favourite World Cup ever. But personally, I'm like, geez, this could be the greatest World Cup there's ever been. And I have like 90 stickers to go for my collection. I have a few extra stickers that I paid money for, a lot of money. I have a nice little collection anyway, and it's going to be nice to look back at that. And I might sell my extra stickers because I did see them as an investment, but who knows? And I know you mightn't even know what I'm talking about when I say extra stickers, but I'm not even going to explain it. But anyway, yeah, like, I mean, I was listening to Blind Boy's most recent podcast there, and it just stoked the fires in me to be like, fuck it, I'm recording an old video now, and I have so much to talk about. That's what I thought in my head, and now I'm sitting here and I'm like, fuck it, I don't know what to talk about. But I have 1 or 2 notes written there on the screen, and I'm hesitant to read them right now. Well, basically, I'll read the first one. It's in shorthand, so I'll start off with it. It's I don't have a leaving cert. I never did the leaving cert. If I had sat the leaving cert, I would have passed. But that's a source of shame for me. A shame in myself, and you know, with the help of a lot of people and the work I'm doing on myself, it's apparent to me in the past couple of weeks. It's like, whoa, I need to really forgive myself. I need to really forgive my past self and have compassion and empathy for my past self, because I'm a really harsh critic and bully, and not only that, but I just feel shit a lot of the time because I haven't forgiven my past self. So when I'm reminded, I'm like feeling shame and stuff, and I'm not processing the shame well. I'm fucking reacting to it and cursing myself and feeling shit, and instead of maybe taking a deep breath and thinking my way through it as well, maybe speaking about it with people. I'm navigating it anyway. I don't have the solution right now, but I'm living closer to a solution every single day, and I'm living in a solution every single day as well, without being the full 9 yards in terms of a solution there. But hearing other people's feedback has been really healing as well, and other people's experiences and how they've coped with these things. And Blind Boy's podcast I was just listening to, and he was saying, like, well, how could neurodivergent me sit still in class and even sit through class, because school is basically like a normal job, and if you aren't cut out for a normal job in that environment, how are you supposed to fucking sit through that? And I could relate to that, but the shame in me is like, well, you could have fucking easily done the Leaving Cert and you were a normal person before addiction, and you were doing well in school, and you were getting on well with these neurotypical people, and anyway, I could go off for 10 hours complaining about myself. But on the other hand, what I don't acknowledge, or haven't acknowledged till recently, is like, and it took a bit of thinking about it and talking about it, is like, when I was in school, I was suicidal. Number one. I was really struggling with depression. I was grieving. I was hurt. I faced bullying. I faced a couple of really bad incidents that were like scarring for me, and really a source of shame and a source of guilt and a source of distress. And yeah, it wasn't easy. It made school really uncomfortable for me, and it made sitting in class really uncomfortable. And all of these things, the accumulation of all of these things together, made class really difficult. Not to mention, I was fucking struggling with my addiction, struggling to cope, struggling to talk, struggling to be honest, very insecure. I was going red in the face around people, and anyway, yeah, school was a fucking disaster in the end for me, like. And I remember there was like after school study, and my mother signed me up in the Leaving Cert year for extra, or whatever it is, after school study. And they like text your parents if you don't show up to it, but I found a way around it in that I never actually showed up from day one. So they never actually like registered me, or they never texted my mother, so I fucking got away with never showing up to it. And I remember, like, I'd literally, instead of going to the study, I'd go to an alleyway near the school on my own and sit there for like 2 hours staring at a wall. That's where I was at, like. And so yeah, the whole school experience is a source of shame for me, but you know what, I am forgiving myself, and the shame can come back to a lack of value, and the value system I was living in, probably up until recently, but certainly the environment and the value system of the environment I was living in And even the teachers promoted this shit, but it was like, you know, your status, your social standing, the social hierarchy. Can you get a good job and all these achievements and go to a good college and excel, and that was kind of the value system. So the shame in it is like, I never really achieved any of that shit. Didn't do the Leaving Cert, didn't. So I feel like I have no value because of that. Like, I forgot. I'll get to my next point in a second, but I no longer have to feel like I'm valueless, or ashamed of myself. I no longer have to fucking live with that shit, because I know myself I do have value, and what I need to acknowledge and live in as a solution is like the people that would regard me as valueless, that still live in that value system of social hierarchy and achievements and fucking all that shit, like, you know, social status, and it's none of my business what they think, really, because as Blind Boy said in his last podcast, I'd recommend it to check it out. 9 times out of 10, these are people that are struggling with insecurity and probably a bit ashamed themselves and probably just not comfortable in themselves. Therefore, they're spiritually sick people. And I don't want to keep going around in circles, but I'm living in a spiritual solution today for my own problems. And at this point in time, that's good enough for me. And look, everyone has their own value system. I even probably have my own, but it's probably different from a lot of people, and I'm okay with that. Yeah. What I didn't mention was, like, I did mention this, but I didn't go into it big, was that for the main part of my school days, what I was struggling with was weed addiction and alcoholism as well. And yeah, the weed fried me, like, and it left me with so much anxiety, like, and that made school really tough, and it just made me not want to go there, and I just shut down. I'd go quiet and just stare at the book. I got bullied by one teacher as well, and probably a few of them actually. They were just taking the piss out of me, and this is where, like, I have blame and resentment. Is like, none of them ever called me out for being high, or fucking none of them ever held me accountable, so I felt like I wasn't helped by the school, you know what I mean? But when I was speaking to someone about this the last day, it's like, that's me blaming someone else for my own behaviour, like, you know. So that resentment is it's not valueless, but it's just like, there's a deeper reality to it, and there's a deeper level to it, in that, yes, I may have been crying out for help, but I can't blame the school, like, type of thing. Certainly for my own behaviour. Yeah, that's all my notes covered. And we're 15 minutes deep. Yeah, why not go on till my memory cuts out on my phone? Why not? So yeah, there's been serious struggles, and I faced some serious abuse from people over the years as well, and I fucked up some seriously meaningful friendships to me. Addiction and my behaviour, my doing in addiction, was to undo the good done in friendships that meant a lot to me, that brought me a lot of pain. That is still a little bit difficult for me, but yeah, ultimately, like, I have new friends, I suppose. That's it. And I suppose I'm getting closer to a day where I make more amends with people. I've made loads of amends already, and there's still, just talking about it now, I'm like, fuck it, I need to make a few more amends with people. But yeah, in terms of the schizophrenia, like, because I said I haven't spoken about it in a while, but I haven't had an episode for a couple of weeks. I don't really have any delusions today. They can pop into my head, but I'm past it. But yeah, when they pop into my head, they can be consuming. I think that's contradictory to what I just said about the delusions, but they can be a bit, well, they have been consuming for a long time, but they're less consuming than before. And like, delusions in terms of thinking there's a conspiracy against me in Galway, and what do people know about me, and why were people so nasty to me, and were these people all working in cohesion, and how did they orchestrate this? And look, it fried my head. It fucking fried my head for a long time. And I think it was that uncertainty and mystique that fueled my psychosis. Obviously, drugs, goes without saying, drugs were a huge part. But in terms of the, like, mental side of it, I'm just getting a huge more awareness around this, and still get anxiety, like getting the bus, and if there's young people on the bus and fucking rowdy people and fucking hard people, I'm like, oh fuck, I don't want to speak to them. And I know that's normal because we're primates, humans, and we want to be part of the flock, and we want to be acknowledged and have our value and our social standing and whatever else. But I think the awareness around it is really powerful, and having solutions, like for me, just deep breathing, calm myself down. I found an accumulation of doing that for a long time has been very effective. At the start, I was like, why the fuck am I doing this? This doesn't help. And I think from having it shown to me by people as well, how they do it, like in terms of the meditation, the deep breathing, the relaxing, calming yourself down, I've realised I can do that anytime in any place, and it works for me. So yeah, just something simple like that fucking just helps me be a bit calmer. 20 minutes. We'll stay going. All-Ireland semi-final on this Saturday. I'm going to Dublin to Croke Park to see Mayo against Louth. Colby MacDonald live in the flesh. Can't wait to see him play. He's going to be hopefully good, but it's going to be an honour to see him play because he's probably going to Australia next year or sometime at the end of the season. And personally, I feel like it's Mayo's year. The year no one expects them to win. Like, I feel like they could do it, or it'll be yet another devastating loss. But I just have a good feeling about them, so that's my prediction. Peace, young Ash. Check link in the comments, buy me a coffee.